I couldn't sleep last night, therefore it is time to play Random YouTube Movie Time. That thing I do where I pick a movie that's free on YouTube, I don't read the description, and I watch and I tell you about it. Let's begin. Our movie of choice this time was called Raggedy Man, presumably about a man who is in fact raggedy. And my first thought was, damn, how bad does he have to be called raggedy? He must be like an abusive piece of shit, or maybe a slob. Maybe it's about a serial cheater. If you guessed any of those, you would be wrong, much like I was. So picture it, Texas, 1940. This woman has a baby and a small toddler. She catches her husband dancing with a ton of women at a jazz club, and she leaves his ass. Cut to 4 years later, it is 1944 in the midst of World War II. We're still in Texas. Now she's a phone operator, but she's kind of like stuck in this fucking job, and her boss is a dick. So she has to be at the house all the time to answer the phone calls 24/7. She's work from home. She lives at the little like telephone house place. She doesn't go on dates. She doesn't go out in town really, except to maybe like buy groceries. She's very mysterious. And one night this guy, fresh out of boot camp, comes up to the house to use the phone. And have you ever seen a man so pretty a tear runs down your leg? Well, apparently he was going to call upon a lady, but apparently she got married while he was gone. And he didn't have anywhere to go, so he stayed with the phone lady for 4 days because she had children and they were really sweet, and he took them around everywhere. And then they did the wienering, but then he had to leave. And I was like, damn, is he considered the Raggedy Man? Because he had to wear his dress whites for like 4 solid days. I mean, he didn't have anything he could change into, apparently. Which is kind of weird because he was on liberty for 4 days, and he had a sack with him, so I don't know why he didn't have extra clothes in there. I really hope he washed those. Trying to get the stains out is gonna fucking suck. Also, why would he be raggedy? He was a nice guy. But then also apparently there's this old guy with some sort of facial deformity who's been wandering around town for the last 2 years mowing people's lawns. But he keeps staring at their house, and they called him raggedy at one point, but like you never see him except when he's standing outside the house, and then all you see is a silhouette until like the very, very, very end. So like, what the fuck did he do to be raggedy? But then you have these 2 bar alcoholics that tried to take her on a date together. They couldn't even like muster up the courage to take them on a single date by themselves. They wanted to take them on a date together, and she said no. And then they tried to attack her. So I mean, presumably they could be raggedy, but they didn't like point out that they were raggedy. Does that make sense? So I guess they could be raggedy, and then they get yeeted by the lawnmower guy. Which, come to find out, the lawnmower guy was her ex-husband who was cheating in the jazz clubs. So here's what happened. You had a bunch of old biddies who were like whispering and shit that she had a sailor in her house and wasn't married to him. So she's like, okay, you gotta go, like a day before his liberty expired. And then we don't see him for the rest of the movie. So why he was there, I don't actually know. The alcoholic guys, they bully her children. And then they try to attack her. And then get yeeted by the man with the lawnmower who's been watching her house. And come to find out that the raggedy guy that was watching her house is in fact her ex-husband. And he's got a deformity because he joined the war after they got divorced. And I guess he came back and figured out where they live. So that happens. And then they moved to San Antonio because she quit her job. The end. This movie was completely all over the place. 99% of it was apparently pointless. Nobody gets together in the end. And come to find out, the beautiful looking man is in fact the brother of Julia Roberts, the dad of Emma Roberts, who I really don't like. Because of all this, I'm giving it like a 3 out of 10. Because why take me on this ride if there's no payoff? Also, let me remake this movie. I could give us a damn good movie. But also, I'm not going to call it Raggedy Ann. We can call it based off the movie Raggedy Ann, but I'm not Jesus, Raggedy Man, not Raggedy Ann. 3 out of 10. Okay, bye. Every time I see you soar above the sky, in my heart there'll always be a place for you. In all my life, I'll keep a part of you with me. I can't watch Pearl Harbor. It makes me cry.